What's good, everybody? Greg Hickman here with the Scalable Podcast. And in this episode, we're going to continue the conversation that we started in episode 8, where we're talking about your primary and your secondary sales funnel. And in this one, we're going to talk about your secondary sales funnel. Let's get it going. For 3 years, my agency built funnels and automation systems for the biggest names in marketing today. Since then, I've transformed that agency into a hyper-profitable training and consulting business. While everyone is out there talking about scale like it's some sort of destination, we'll be asking the real question. How do you transform your business into a more scalable model using the knowledge, skills, and expertise that you already have? This podcast is here to give you the answer. Join me and follow along as I learn, apply, and share the strategies I'm using to build my multi-million-dollar business. My name is Greg Hickman, and welcome to Scalable. All right, guys. So like we talked about in the last episode, episode 8, we talked about the reason why we need a primary and secondary sales funnel. So just a quick recap. I shared a study from that was shared with me, or I heard through a podcast by Dean Jackson. It's called More Cheese, Less Whiskers. I'll link it up in the show notes. And basically what the study showed was that of all of the leads coming into your world, 50% will never invest in a solution to their problem. Not now, not later. Now being within 90 days, later being 90 days to 24 months. And really it was like 18 to 24 months. And so that means if you look at this, if you're looking at this graph that I kind of drew out, on the video episode, if 50% are never going to buy, of that remaining 50%, 15% are going to buy in the first 90, and then 85% are going to buy later on. And so the primary sales funnel that we talked about in last episode, episode 8, again, that's linked up in the show notes, is really designed for the people, that 15%, those people that are ready to convert, likely to convert kind of in that shorter window of time. But that means if you stop there, which again, a lot of people out there are selling like simple 2-step funnel, and they actually let a lot of these leads and opportunities fall through the cracks. And if you are spending money to acquire those leads and only a small percentage are buying, you've paid to acquire a lot of leads that still might convert within the next 18 to 24 months. So yes, while they're not going to convert as fast as you'd like, you need a follow-up system to stay top of mind and engage with those people. So we talked about the primary sales funnel, just 2 examples. There's many, but webinar into an application or a case study into an application, and then the follow-up emails that will stay top of mind, which we call master follow-up. Now, the secondary sales funnel is what we're talking about today. And that's how you follow up with those leads after they've gone through that primary sales funnel and they still haven't converted, right? How do we stay top of mind? And so historically, what a lot of people do, the old way, right? The old way is you basically have an email campaign that, sends out, 1 a week by, 365 days. Like, we went into clients' automation campaigns and we found that they were literally sending an email a week automated for a year, and they just kind of forgot about it. And in today's world with, you guys probably know, like, you consume content here on YouTube or through podcasts, or you're in people's Facebook groups, in messengers and messenger conversations. It's not just, down to email anymore. So if you're only having a one-dimensional follow-up like email, you're missing a lot of opportunities, because depending upon what industry you're in, email open rates, average is like 20%, which means most of your list isn't even engaging. And that's what we found for a lot of people that were kind of automating a year's worth of email follow-up. They weren't even really getting much engagement after the first 6 to 12 weeks. And so the new way, which you really want to think about, and this is something that we help our clients with, is how does your follow-up lead your leads into multi-channel experiences where your follow-up is now not just solely dependent upon email? Because if it's only email and they're starting not to respond, by continuing to email them, you're actually training them to not respond to your email, and you're going to experience what's called email fatigue. Right? People will stop engaging and now you've lost them. So within our master follow-up from our primary sales funnel and the early stages of our of our secondary sales funnel, we really want to focus on creating multiple touch points, like a multi-touch point experience. Multi-touch point experience. And again, that can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. But what I'm saying is don't just rely on email. Is email still powerful? 100%. You should still do that. So email should be a part of the plan. Should you get them in other channels? Yeah. So how we like to look at it is there's at least a couple places that I want people to be at where I can stay top of mind. So I actually learned this originally from one of my former coaches, Taki. And so we want them in email, we want them in chat, and we want them in our group. So this is our Facebook group. You've heard me talk about, hey, join us in our free Facebook group, which, by the way, you should join us in our free Facebook group. It's called the Scalable Service Provider. I'll link to it below in the show notes, or you can search for it on Facebook. And by having them here, like we can email them. We're getting involved in chat conversations. We have a whole strategy on how to initiate those conversations, both from email, within your group, from content like this. And now we're in a position where we're really starting to, and this sounds creepy, but surround them in different areas where we are staying top of mind, right? These are my core channels, right? But obviously you might be listening to this on iTunes. Like, this is a new channel for us. But if you're here, like, that's why I'm obviously promoting and constantly asking you to join us in these other places, like our group, or sign up for some of our free training and things like that, or inviting you to a call, depending upon, where you're at in your own journey. And so, the kind of honing in on where are the channels where you will have those conversations. Our secondary sales funnel is to start creating and escalating that multi-touch experience. So we got email, we got chat, we got groups, we have like SMS or text, all these different areas we can start to be communicating with our prospects, the right message at the right time. Now, I'm not saying just blanket spam the same message to all of these channels. That's not how you do it. When you design it, you have to have a strategy for each channel. We actually have predetermined game plans for how our clients use each of these channels as they launch them to support their secondary follow-up and really start to maximize the value of those leads. And so that's how we focus on it, right? And so the goal is to be that multi-touch experience where we're engaging in conversations and moving people on to the next stage. Because what you've probably experienced in your own buying habits and behaviors, and I know that we've experienced, is that conversions now happen in conversations. Conversions happen in conversations. And that means our primary and secondary sales funnels should be optimizing for creating more conversations, right? Because that's where the sales are going to be made, right? You want to do business with people that you know, like, and trust, and feel like they can help you. Like, you're watching these videos, you're getting to know, like, and hopefully trust me. And maybe you don't like me. That's fine. Go watch another channel or go listen to another podcast. That's fine. Different strokes for different folks. But the people that kind of jive with what we do and how we do it will resonate with this, right? And so we want to create conversations with people that we know we can help and that are looking for the help, right? So the secondary sales funnel is all about creating a multi-touch experience and starting conversations so that we can move our leads and prospects to the next stage of that client journey, right? Whatever that might be. That might be to a sales call. That might be to making a transaction and buying a service, a program, or a course of some sort. Whatever it is you're selling, it might be to just move them into the next stage of, like, hey, join us in our free group, right? Whatever the next stage is, depending upon where they're at in your funnel and who they are and what they're doing. We want to keep moving them through that journey. But like Dean talked about in his interview with Todd, you want to have that secondary sales funnel to account for those 85%. Now, in my own business, and I know in our clients' business, especially when you sell something that is of more premium value or high ticket, as they say. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer for some people to buy. Again, you have the 15% that are going to convert earlier on, the now kind of window within 90 days, but you're also going to have people that convert later. And some of my best clients have been engaged with us in our primary and then in our secondary sales funnel for about a year sometimes. And then they convert. But guess what? Because the system is so streamlined and automated, to me, when they decide to jump into a conversation or they actually enroll in one of our programs, that feels like new to me. But we had potentially paid to acquire them months and months and months ago, even a year ago. And the system and the engine has been cultivating that relationship and making us still available when they were ready, right? And that's maximizing the value of the lead, right? Because I probably paid for them, months and months prior through, say, like a Facebook ad, and they were in that window of they didn't convert because they were going to be in that later bucket. Well, my secondary sales system and process allowed us to maintain that conversation, stay top of mind, so that when they were ready to solve the problem, they chose us, right? And we want the same for you. So again, if you want help building out your primary and secondary sales funnel for your agency or your service, productized service or program, we'd love to chat with you. You can schedule a call with our team by visiting system.ly/apply and or clicking the link. It's in the show notes and below this video here. We'd love to chat. Otherwise, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. We'll catch you in the next episode, and we'll talk to you soon. If you're an agency owner or a service provider and you want to transition out of doing done-for-you services and finally launch your own high-ticket coaching or consulting programs, then we'd love to help. We put together a program where we will hold your hand and walk you step by step through the exact same process that we've used and hundreds of our clients have used now to develop and transition their agency services into their own leveraged, scalable business model where they package up their expertise and can work one-to-many instead of one-to-one. If you want to learn how we can help you, visit myscalablebusiness.com for more.